All right, before we even jump into this, I got some disclaimers. Because I know how it is. You put the word vegan in the title of a video, or in my experience, even if you don't, you run a very high risk of getting the vegan militia descending upon you, calling you a piece of shit for pretty much anything. So I just want to make it clear from the jump, I am not vegan. I am not becoming vegan. I have been vegan in the past. Without going into too much detail, I was vegan for about a year. It really did not work for me very well on an internal level. This was in my early 20s, and no, I was not the double fisting Oreos type of vegan because yes, Oreos are vegan. I did a lot of research in terms of coming up with balanced meals. I was the type of bitch who was buying my beans raw and soaking them. I was doing the whole thing. I was really trying to do my best to get my foods as close to the version they are when they come from the earth as possible. Long story short, it just did not allow me to thrive. However, I do still believe that eating mostly plants, to quote Michael Pollan, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. It's basically my rule of thumb. I do not believe that there is one diet that suits every single body across the globe. I think that's a very personal thing that you have to figure out yourself through trial and error to see what allows you to feel, function, and move your best. For me, veganism was not it. Nonetheless, I still believe that nearly all of us could stand to eat some more vegetables, and those of us who do eat meat wouldn't be harmed by eating less of it. And the one feeling that I do have across the board is that eating foods in their whole form as unprocessed as possible and letting that be the bulk of your diet is the way to go. And that is why we are here today. What's up, guys? It's your girl T, aka the nappy-headed jojoba. Sorry, I just felt like I needed to get that out up front because I know how it be in these YouTube streets, and people are extremely self-righteous and holier than thou, and I am not here for that shit. I entrust other adults to be adults and make their own decisions in terms of what is best for themselves. I just try to help promote things that I think are universally helpful, like eating more vegetables, eating less sugar. If you're going to eat meats, eating meats that are raised in the best possible way, and so on. And I am back today with a What I Ate Wednesday, which was a little bit of a series I did during Vlogmas last year. I showed you guys cheat days, I showed you guys regular days, I showed you guys days that were somewhere in between. Some of you guys may have noticed I don't eat a lot of red meat for many reasons, so I tend to focus more on fish, number one, but because of the issues with price as well as mercury content, I do tend to work in some poultry as well. Those are my primary sources of animal protein, but as time has gone on over the past few years, I have tried to work in more completely plant-based meals. I know Meatless Monday has been a thing for a few years. I don't necessarily worry about what day of the week it is. It's just how I'm feeling. If I feel like there's 1, 2, 3 days out of the week where I don't really feel like eating meat today, then dope, let's do it. I think when you're raised on an omnivore diet, it can be hard to conceive of meals that will be truly satiating and satisfying if they don't have any meat, let alone eggs or dairy at all. It requires a bigger mental shift than I think a lot of people may be prepared for. But quite honestly, it really is just about making certain choices in the types of foods that you're choosing so that you do feel like you're getting enough. I mean, I have a big appetite regardless. So I wanted to share with you guys what it is that I eat in a day, where I eat completely plant-based, no dairy, no eggs, no animal products at all. Some of the things I eat are staples for me. You may have seen them in previous What I Eat in a Day videos, but they've been revamped a bit to be more suitable for a vegan lifestyle, or in my case, a vegan day. My Instagram fam has already seen some of the other meals I've been making for Make It Happen March, our health, finance, and lifestyle challenge that's going on right now. So be sure to check me out over there if you want more in real-time updates on the things I'm eating day to day. I do put up whole ass recipes from start to finish as I'm making them on my Instagram stories. So if you're into that sort of thing and you're just looking for meal ideas, feel free to check me out. Link is always in the description box. So whatever your reasons are for becoming vegan fully or just incorporating more vegan meals into your diet, hopefully this will be helpful and give you some ideas. After that extremely lengthy intro, as Philip DeFranco would say, let's just jump into it.
First up, I'm going to be making my pumpkin pie smoothie, which my Not Vlog fam will remember. I will link the video where I go into detail on how to make this smoothie in the cards as well as the description box. But basically, to make this vegan friendly, all you have to do is eliminate the collagen peptides and it will be just as delicious. And if you like, you can always replace those collagen peptides with a vegan friendly protein powder instead. Following that, I had some avocado toast. So here I am slicing up an heirloom tomato. Those are my favorites, and seasoning them. You guys have also seen how I like to make avocado toast before. Not that anyone really needs a video on making avocado toast. And here I've got my 3 little pieces of bread because I was at the very end of the loaf, so the pieces were small. So I went for 3 instead of 2. And that is avocado toast. Just eliminate the poached egg that I normally throw on top, and it is vegan friendly, super delicious, and you don't miss the egg at all. For a snack, I had some pineapple, so this is some video of pineapple. And after that, I still was feeling a bit peckish, so I decided to munch on a few almonds as well. My main meal for the day was this eggplant bake that I made. So here I am using my chopper to chop up some green bell peppers and some onions. And then I also have 3 tomatoes. These are also heirloom tomatoes, which I need to peel. So I'm just prepping them for that. If you don't know how to peel tomatoes, google.com. But I will also leave a link in the description box of the video I watched that taught me. That was just me chopping up some flat leaf parsley, and now I am slicing my aubergines, my eggplants, and sauteing those in some grapeseed oil. I'm using grapeseed oil because grapeseed oil has a very high smoking point, so I don't have to worry about anything there. And then I'm just seasoning with some salt and pepper. The recipe said to saute these until they were tender, and I wasn't exactly sure how long that meant because it didn't give any indication of time. And as you can see, the eggplant absorbs a lot of the oil, so I was just trying to figure out if they felt softer from the oil or from being cooked long enough. And I also had to add some more oil to the pan as I was going along because I had to saute the rounds in shifts because my pan was too small. And I would just kind of test with my tongs to see when it was time to flip them or to completely take them out of the pan because they were done. Once I finished all the eggplant, I went ahead and used the same pan to saute my bell peppers and onions. And then I seasoned those, of course, because as I say, for the love of Ray J, always season your food. And I sauteed those just until the onions were about translucent. And then it was time to assemble. So the eggplant goes on the bottom. They recommend an 8x8 pan, which I found in the end was a bit too small for 2 eggplants, which is what the recipe called for. And then you just layer your ingredients. First the eggplant, then the peppers and onions, then tomato, then the parsley. And you keep going until your pan is too full to fit all of your ingredients. You might have noticed I cut the eggplant rounds in half for the second layer. I just found that they fit better in the pan with that flat edge because it's a square pan and a round fruit. And at the end, you top it with some sauce, but you'll see here, I didn't think that was enough. So after the amount they recommended in the recipe, I went in with even more sauce because I didn't want my dish to be dry. And I feel like the sauce is what gives it that nice kind of unity and brings all of the flavors together. So what I will do next time is actually layer with the sauce as I go. My oven was already preheated to 350 Fahrenheit, so I popped that in and it was in there for a good 50 minutes to an hour. Took it out and it looked a little something like this, sort of like an all vegetable eggplant lasagna. Plating this did not turn out the way I hoped and dreamed. It completely fell apart, but it still tasted really delicious, and that is what matters. The recipe, by the way, also calls for you to layer raw garlic in as you're layering the other ingredients. I wound up sauteing garlic in with my peppers and onions after I had kind of finished with them. I went back, warmed them up in the pan, added in some garlic and re-sauteed that just for a minute or two, and it was perfect. So those are just a couple of the little changes that I will be making next time. 1, I'm gonna get a bigger pan. 2, I'm going to layer the sauce with everything else as I go. 3, I'm going to add my garlic in with the peppers and onions as I'm sauteing. And I think that's it. But yeah, for the most part, I thought this was a really tasty dish, and I was happy to draw inspiration from the recipe that I found, which I of course will link below.
And that is what I ate on this What I Ate Wednesday vegan edition. Hopefully this gave you some ideas. That eggplant bake is definitely going to be in my rotation with some of the tweaks and changes that I shared with you guys during the cooking portion, because the recipe, not to shade the person who so kindly shared it for free on the internet, but here we go. Lot of flaws in my opinion in terms of just practicality and ease of assembling the dish. I think that, some of the things I mentioned earlier will make it a lot more streamlined and just as tasty. Feel free to chime in with your current habits in terms of eating, whether you're doing meatless Mondays or you're doing, vegetarian diet a couple days a week or maybe all the time, whatever it is. Like I said earlier, we could all stand to eat some more vegetables probably. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me on this Wednesday. Some of y'all know that I block rude commenters in a heartbeat. Unfortunately for them, I also clap back. So if you're here just to be rude, come at the queen, you best not miss. Thanks again for watching. I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's some nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.